live mics. We are here to entertain. It's a new episode of the Grinding Gear podcast. We've got a lovely guest today. You might be familiar with their work, as their YouTube channel, at least as far as I can see, goes back 10 years all the way to Final Fantasy XIV Goes Rock, A Realm Reborn Dungeon Boss Fight, Nemesis, and Parentheticals. But there's also been some like wildly successful videos, like, for example, 40 Musician Medley, which is welcoming back Soken. There's a 14 Medley with 200 musicians. You may have seen me in the medley with 300 musicians. Maybe you saw him on the stage at FanFest London last year. And maybe you're just aware of the fact that they're about to celebrate 100,000 subscribers, but only if you go and subscribe to their channel right now. Joining us is Husky by the Geek. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. What's up, chat? I hope you are all doing well. And quite a history, 10 years of YouTube, and indeed, FF14 launched my YouTube channel because I love this game and this music way too much. It was like, hey, I'll just pick up my guitar and I'll play this music and do some stuff, and magic happened, and I did my first cover, and here we go.
That was going to be my first question, especially like anyone we have on that has a YouTube channel. Always go and like creep on their channel, see how far back they go. So is 10 years accurate, or were there videos that you like hid and you scrubbed from your channel so that we can't see maybe some less than perfect first attempts at making content?
Yeah, it was my very first video, I think.
Hell yeah.
It was very rough back then, and even like audio-wise, right now, I progressed so much. When I listen to my very first recordings and my first covers, I'm like, it didn't sound very good back then. But I mean, at least it means that I progressed and I've come pretty far right now.
I mean, your channel is popping off. Your views are incredible. You have quite the high subscriber count.
It has been a slow and steady progress on average. It kind of blew up at my scale when I did this big mega collabs with hundreds of musicians. But overall, over the 10 years, it had slow and steady progress.
I mean, certainly it's timeless. It's music. It's not music news. It's, every video can exist in its vacuum. But Gary knows something about instruments, and I know nothing. So I want to make sure I have my small interview before Garrett gets his bigger, more technical expertise interview.
Oh, you're overselling my knowledge of instruments.
Well, you can,
grossly.
Okay, very, very, very well. I will accidentally ask the awkward and possibly insulting questions because I don't know what I'm looking at. And Garrett can salvage the interview on the back end. That sounds better.
That's why there's two of us.
All right. So first up, first video ever, the hat is there. Where'd the hat come from? the dog, the Husky hat.
Yeah. Okay. So I started this channel at I was 20 years old. And I got this hat 4 years earlier when I was 16. And I found this hat. It looked fun. It was on Amazon back then. Now you cannot find it anymore, but I got it on Amazon. And I was used to spend my summer evenings on the beach playing guitar and drinking rum. Way too much.
That sounds wonderful.
Rockstar. But over the different days and evenings, people only started to recognize me when I took the hat of the guitar case and put it in my head. And people were like, oh, it's the wolf who plays guitar. And so 4 years later, I was like, why not use this to make my channel identity, because it's already proved in the past that people recognize me through it. So yeah.
Does it have meaning. Like I'm watching your videos, and with the collabs, you show up and it's like, oh, whoa, the hat, it's Husky, it's Husky, the Geek, it all makes sense. But in your old original videos, the hat was saved to the last guy, the fourth you that showed up. Does the hat player execute a certain level of performance? Are they
indeed?
Okay.
Yeah, the hat is dedicated to playing the lead guitar melody.
Okay.
I play bass, rhythm guitar, some harmonies on an arrangement guitar. I call it like this, and then the lead guitar which plays the principal melody, and this is where I put the hat on.
Excellent. So if I'm watching the hat, I mean, it works so well. It's such like, I can't believe this is your first video because it works so well. You're into it. Your head is down. You're working hard, and you're just hypnotized by this dog hat getting down, and it just comes in at like the right moment. I'm glad I was right about this. I'm glad I solved at least part of this musicianal business.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah. But yeah, when I started to play, I was pretty shy back then, and I didn't look at the camera much. I don't do it a lot nowadays because I play very difficult songs right now. But yeah, back then I was like, okay, I'm on my guitar, I'm performing, and yeah, indeed, you could see only my hat. Yeah.
I mean,
that's great. Yeah, I mean, just thinking about like getting started with content creation and it more and more when we have guests on, the conversation tends to go that way because at this point in time, everybody that we have on, they're making something. And so we've been talking a lot of shop on the show with our last few guests. And yeah, we're a little older than you, so none of this is meant to be like a brag, but we've been doing it longer. And it's like even harder for me to kind of think about just how socially awkward I was when I started making stuff on the internet.
Oh,
now, when Kyle and I started making stuff together, it was audio only. So we really got to be as bashful as humanly possible. The only thing we needed to do was be comfortable with our voice, which I wasn't in the beginning. But yeah, and then when we made the jump to video, it was like doing it all over again.
It's really fun to see how everyone progress through the years, and you see people at the beginnings of the stuff and channel, and how confident they are today, and for you as well. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's everyone's content journey is very much its own thing. So all right, Kyle, you got the hat. What's next in your lineup of curiosities?
Honestly, that was the big one. If I was wrong about the lead musician kind of hat business, I was going to check out completely. I was nervous because that was like, okay, I think I got this. I think I caught the through line of where it's coming in, why instruments happening. I see a lot of different, like, okay, so here's another question I got for you. The Dawn Trail Battle theme video. Mm-hmm. All right, I clearly see a wooden guitar. That's going to be different.
I see a wooden guitar.
Yes. I see an electric guitar. But there's a green guitar.
Bass.
This
one is a bass.
Do you ever change? So is there a normal guitar, an electric guitar that you do more than one of? Or is an electric guitar kind of an electric guitar and you've just updated over the years what your primary electric guitar is?
So I use these different guitars for different purposes. My red guitar has an amazing sound and feel when you play highly distorted music. So that's why I use it mainly in my rock and metal songs and playing the lead melodies and stuff like that. Sometimes the rhythm as well. I'm using the 8-string guitar for rhythm because guitars are made of different wood and electronic stuff. So two guitars will not sound the same. So when you mix different guitars, it's better using different instruments rather than only one, because it's easier to spread up in the mix and to make it sound better with different instruments if you prefer. So that's why I have one guitar for lead, one guitar for rhythm, and I use the FF14 Stratocaster guitar all the time for harmonies and clean tones and crunch tones as well.
Very cool. Okay. All right.
I'm just tickled pink that you weren't familiar with the bass, Kyle. That's.
I think it has to do with
I'm not even teasing. I wish I remember a time when I didn't know the difference between a guitar and a bass guitar.
It's the number of strings, right? That'd be the main look.
No.
Yes and no.
I mean, traditionally, yes.
The number of string is the easy way. Yeah.
It's also the size of the instrument, and practically speaking, like the note, or like the key or the note registry. Like a bass is much lower.
It's 1 octave lower than a guitar, and of course the sound is very different because it's not the same instrument at all. Bass is my favorite instrument, by the way. I started music with it, and even when I played live with my previous bands, I had way more fun playing bass than guitar because it's just my playground.
I've been playing. Do not take this as I am any good, as you know, because you've heard my clean recordings. You know how mediocre I am at guitar.
No,
I've been playing guitar.
Don't sell yourself short.
I've been playing guitar, I think, since 98 or 99, I think is when I started playing guitar. I was like 12 or 13. I forget how old I was. I was young. I just bought a bass a little over a year ago. That cheapo Squire behind me is I got it because I've like my whole life I've been interested in bass. And I got to say, I feel like I missed out because I immediately find it more fun to play than guitar. I'm garbage. I'm like, it is so funny starting back over at square one. But yeah, it's there's something about finger picking I find very fun, and I'm very bad at it with the bass.
I love the feel of the strings under the fingers when you play bass. Mm-hmm. And the thing about bass is that the instrument is easy to pick up, but really hard to master. To make it groove, to make a solid groove, it's not easy at all, and it requires years of practice and mastery to achieve it.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's hard. I'm curious if I could go back in time and try both guitar and bass simultaneously, like which one I would pick up faster. But
yeah,
at this point in my life, I'm like, oh boy, bass is so much harder than guitar.